It was about the time. It was about the rhyme. It was about Chukwu's inability to shine. Nah, it went deeper than that. Chukwu's heart was broke. He lost his uncle, his grandfather, his great-grandfather, all in his lifetime. So he didn't even have the patience to write rhymes. You see, Maniac was dead. He said, Mecca, give me their head. Use your anger instead. And Chukwu, he fucking felt it. You see, Chukwu was me. That's why I had to fake my death. But really, it wasn't faked. When my family betrayed me, I died. Became somebody else. I wasn't born again like a Christian. I was born again with a occult pen. It was hidden like the Amen. Like the temple at best. It left a mess. Like an ink pen from the fountain that keeps running. Like a mountain keeps building. It's eroding but building. Go figure. It's similar to killing. Let me explain how Chukwu took off like a plane. The sirens started coming for him. He was fed up. You see, Chukwu was quite rational, but the bootlickers claimed he was nuts, and he had enough. So in an angry rage, he seemed to prove their point. He sparked a blunt, not a joint. He always had something against the way the white people did things. The Eurocentric culture of demons, he said to me. You see, Chukwu was me, and I talked to myself. And Maniac was my lower soul, below the belt. Maniac was nuts. His path led to death and bumps. His path led to suffering. His path was the way all my enemies would be repaid. You see, I was like a dam, holding Maniac back. I killed Maniac every time he wanted to attack. I killed Maniac when he wanted to rape. I killed Maniac when he felt full of hate. I practiced great self-restraint, but I didn't get no credit. They did me like Menzies. They said you're white, not black. They said, Mecca, you created your vengeance crew, but they were really ready to attack. It wasn't the sign, but the lack of one. As soon as I break my routine, the vengeance crew attacks. That was Maniac's dream. It might manifest into truth. Snipers on the roof. I was so mad, I showed off some of my weapons. Only the legal ones. My cachet is my last proof. My cachet shows you what I said is true. My cachet is only for my troops. I studied their lack of fighting the tools. I studied their lack of understanding the depths of ocean too. And how some fool who shot at some scraps disregarded his strap. And the piggies with all the technology couldn't find that. So I said I could retaliate on that wood ass. Like I can restart the strong. My soul is strong. I grabbed the big old bong. Tried to numb what was wrong. But Maniac wouldn't let me leave it alone. Maniac was always waiting for me at home. Maniac took sides with Set. Dare I say it, Maniac was a bitch. But Maniac would always retaliate, yelling crip. I tried to talk sense into Maniac. I'm the voice of reason in this being, but Maniac didn't see things the way I do. Maniac always had more than just a backup in his shoe. Maniac had a contingency plan A through Z. Maniac was a motherfucking G. But he wasn't as wise as me. The conflict begun. Maniac's ego was one fucking big one. Maniac didn't care. The double bind theory was manifested in Maniac right there. But Maniac was separate from me. Maniac was broadcasting from hell. Maniac didn't need no Jason face mask. He was ready to attack. And Chukwu was all black. Maniac was fucking white. Maniac was full of hate. He said, "Didn't I recognize that tramp you used to date? Don't I recognize Blondie too? Admitting his family's from Idaho, fool. They want to mock you. They know the people who betrayed you. And some of them are them too." Maniac said, "Let's just kill him." Maniac knew Chukwu was willing. All Maniac had to do was convince Chukwu it was the right thing to do, and that God told him to. So Maniac pretended to play God, while he really was trying to confuse Mecca about what is and what was done. Maniac was nuts. The police didn't understand. They blamed us. The devil tricked everybody. The devil had me even stuttering. The thought of the scum had me murmuring and muttering and acting like a mummy. I told the wood, "Use a dummy." You see, Maniac was full of hate. He didn't trust nobody. He'd been betrayed by everyone. His own parents turned him into the white man's son. You see, Maniac was right. He was created by his father and the environment therein. Maniac was created by sin. Maniac was fucking real. Maniac knew how to kill. The only one who could defeat him was Chukwu. And Chukwu no longer cared. Chukwu just sat there with a cold stare. He let Maniac take over. He said, "Maniac, you're right. You never stutter. You're much colder. Maniac, you're who I was meant to be." Maniac was a motherfucking G. You see, Maniac could kill. He could even tell the crackers ahead of time, "I will." And he would still get away. Because Maniac studied all the murders in the last 10 years in the Bay. Especially in San Jose. See, Maniac thought deeper than a cop. Maniac was more organized than the mob. All he needed to do was convince the Heru that the wrong thing to do was really right. Use the white man's tactics during the night. Chukwu would wake up in a spell. Chukwu felt as though he was descending to hell. Chukwu saw Maniac only through his trail. He started adding up the clues, like the Woods and La Noir do. Let me explain to you. Maniac had no remorse. His indifference was that of a horse seeing its master die, not even putting together the reason why it affects him as well. Synergy and energies manifesting from hell. Look, let me explain. Maniac took off like a plane. He entered Chukwu's cortex, man. Chukwu stopped to think. Maniac, what did you drink? Was it blood or wine? Was it the vine? See, Maniac made it so Chukwu couldn't find. Chukwu didn't need to lose his mind, because Maniac was always there, saying, "Chukwu, why do you fucking care? You see how they treat you? They mock you. People think because they're stronger than you that you can't beat them at Kung Fu. Scum think that they're wiser. Scum took Semiramis, and in the church is where they hide her. Don't you see, Chukwu? Maniac is you. You're supposed to do like Maniac do." See, Chukwu couldn't think, because everyone who was supposed to care betrayed him here and there, then back here. They were scum. They were bootlickers, control freaks. They were demons. Maniac was from their semen. And Chukwu knew it. He felt sad. He thought of the broken hearts. He thought how they didn't care. He thought about this woman and that woman there. He thought about school. He thought about fools. He thought about how the scum didn't acknowledge he was cool. See, Chukwu was fucking cold. Chukwu was getting old. And Maniac was getting strong. Chukwu was getting weak. Maniac said, Chukwu, just kick back and let me take over the streets. So Maniac caused Chukwu to regress. Maniac was about to do something you could probably guess.